Hi everyone, that's right. We're here at Consensus 2018 on the first day, and we're joined by Jalak Jobanputra. She's the founding partner of Future Perfect Ventures. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So exciting day. Conference is kicking off here. Lots of energy. One of the companies here that's getting a lot of attention is Harbor, which is part of your firm's portfolio. You participated in the last round, about $28 million that they raised.
Yeah.
I want to talk about a couple of your investments, starting with Harbor. I think that one's really interesting, and I think it's getting a lot of attention right now because of what it's doing around helping businesses legally issue crypto assets.
Yes.
What is the opportunity there? Why did you invest?
Well, what we saw happen over the course of last year in 2017 was a lot of crypto assets being issued in a regulatory vacuum. And this year, in 2018, we've seen jurisdictions around the world that clamp down on securities offerings or classifying some of these offerings as commodities. And what Harbor does is take the very technology around smart contracts and blockchain and build in compliance across different jurisdictions into a token. So something can be traded in Japan but can't be traded in the U.S. Because accredited investors or whatever the regulations are, that security will no longer be able to be traded on a U.S. exchange. So it's kind of automating that process of compliance in this very global world of crypto asset trading.
The environment for that seems to be so stymied by regulation right now. It seems like there's a lot of reactionary stuff happening, especially, and it's so fragmented, right? Like what Harbor is trying to get to with different countries and even different states having different laws. What do you think it's going to take for regulation to become more stasis, more widespread in a way that it makes it easy for startups to issue their tokens and to be cross-border, really like the blockchain, promises?
Well, clarity is so key, and we're starting to see clarity. We have seen regulators around the world educate themselves over the course of the last year, especially. I was talking to regulators around education on blockchain for 2 or 3 years now. And then what happened last year with the initial coin offerings took everyone by surprise at just the sheer velocity of those offerings. Now the regulators, I feel, are more educated, more in a position to start looking at the technology, and also companies like Harbor that are solving for a lot of the compliance concerns. And I think we're in a good spot to kind of move forward from here on in.
Okay, so moving on to another investment of yours, BitPeso, which is really betting on this idea of cross-border money transfers.
Yep.
We see Ripple and others really experimenting with this. What was the specific opportunity you saw in that company and what it represents?
Well, I started Future Perfect Ventures in 2013, 2014. And we were one of the first funds worldwide to have a thesis on decentralization. And BitPeso was one of the first investments I made out of that first fund. And I was born in Nairobi, and after we moved to the U.S., I spent a lot of time going back to Africa and India in the 1980s when these were not very developed markets. And I often say I was able to spot the blockchain opportunity because of my background. I knew that money flow was not efficient, that we have 2 billion people around the world that are still unbanked. We have billions more that are underbanked, including in the United States. And BitPeso is building a way to transfer money across borders using a blockchain backend. So instead of going through 4 or 5 banks and all of those FX transactions to transfer money from, say, Kenya to Nigeria, that could cost up to 20% of a transaction, they brought those fees down to 2 to 3%. So that's a lot of money back in the pockets of small businesses and individuals and even multinationals.
I'm so glad you brought up your background because that's another issue, I think, in the blockchain crypto world that needs to be talked about more. Diversity diversity. You are part of this group called the Collective Future, which is really trying to champion diversity in blockchain and crypto. We did a poll or an analysis of the speakers here, and about 80% are men this year. What do you think needs to happen for diversity in blockchain and crypto to get to where it needs to be?
Well, I think we just need more awareness that this is not just about technology. This sector is going to influence every industry, just like the internet did. I always say that we're at 1994 internet. The internet was slow. A lot of people didn't use email and all the kind of use cases we have now. A lot of people just couldn't imagine that we would be using the internet on such a daily basis. I feel that way about the blockchain. So part of what I do and all the speaking I do and the portfolio companies I invest in is looking at what are those initial use cases going to be? How does it touch people? And also working on better user interfaces. So you don't have to type in a long key to get access to your crypto asset, that you can maybe use a fingerprint or an iris scan or some way which makes it easier to access crypto assets. And I think as soon as we start to see all of that movement, and I think it's going to happen in the next year or two, we'll start to see more diversity, more people from all over the world engage in the sector.
All right, well, that's a perfect way to end it. Thanks so much for joining us. We've been with Jalak Jobanputra. She's the founding partner of Future Perfect Ventures. Back to you all.
Thank you.